Welcome back to the Bell Ringers podcast, where we talk all things
sports betting,
and sprinkle a little bit of pop culture here and there. My name is Tyler Press.
and I'm Ryan McDonald.
See, we got a draft recap.
A little other NFL news. Got some MLB, some NBA playoffs, some NHL playoffs. Are always our classic pop culture, The Last of Us.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get Ty to pick a Kentucky Derby horse. I don't know anything about him. I looked at the names. That's about it so far.
That's all I have to go off of as well.
Yep. I got one little factoid that I found out by looking at the horses. That's about it. So we're gonna go in kind of
roll. Clydesdale, did you?
I don't know if there are Clydesdales in this. Pretty sure there's no Clydesdales in the Derby.
Yeah, you gotta look up their upbringing, like where they're from. Harder areas, I think you're gonna get a better horse. You know what I mean? Like the battle-tested ones.
I don't know if there's one from the O Block, Tyler.
O Block, maybe. Can I get the Detroit horse?
Sorry, Detroit.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
And we have a draft of color combinations.
Yeah, like jersey color combinations. A lot of good ones out there. Some eccentric, some just classics. So I'm curious how you draft compared to how I do.
Yeah, I'm kind of it's gonna be weird. But as always, please follow us on all our social media accounts at BellRingersPod on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and then follow us or subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/TheBellRingersPod. Send it to your friends. Follow us on Spotify at BellRingersPod.
Make sure you comment. We love the comments.
Yes, and they were a little lacking this week. So you gotta get better.
Just step it up.
It was. Going into the NFL draft, the biggest storyline we all know is Kyle McCord was drafted by his hometown Eagles.
Yeah, obviously.
Clearly the biggest storyline.
That's all I've been seeing on the news.
Pretty happy about that. I mean, you get a little backup.
Yeah. How about Shedeur Sanders, though?
Yeah, the real big storyline, Shedeur Sanders falls to the 6th round and gets drafted to a team that drafted a quarterback like 3 rounds ahead of him.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel.
Here we were thinking that the Giants could possibly take him in the 3rd pick overall.
Yeah, I kept just being like, because like looking at it, the first round I wasn't surprised he didn't go, and then I was like looking at the second round, I was like, the Browns got a good few picks in like the top, like there's one in like the mid 40s. I was like, they might take him there, or maybe the Steelers move up and take him.
Especially after getting or predicting that they were going to get Travis Hunter too. It would have made sense. Like if Shedeur did slip even remotely close to how much he actually did, we were predicting that they could have taken him since we thought that they were also going to get Travis Hunter, but that didn't even happen either, right?
Yep.
One of the other big news of the draft, Jaguars traded with Cleveland to get their 2nd pick and to get Travis Hunter.
Yep. So Jaguars trade up. They trade up. They get the 2nd pick along with the 104th pick and the 200th pick in exchange for the 5th, the 36th, the 126th, and a 2026 first rounder. I think Cleveland kind of got a steal here.
Yeah, it's a lot to give up for Travis Hunter, but
I mean, just moving 3 spots, you're giving up a future first for 3 spots of movement, which I always think is kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. In a lighter note, how happy do you think you are being Travis Hunter, thinking that you're going to Cleveland, which is like garbage franchise, hasn't done anything in a long time to at least the fun Jaguars. You're living in Florida instead of Cleveland. And,
yeah, Jaguars are known for being a good football team.
Well, it's a better area, and I think
the climate I think is the best.
I mean,
part.
Quarterback situation I think currently right now too. Like, I think Trevor Lawrence hasn't had a great big wide receiver in a while. Or I don't even think if
he's had
small guys, and I think in college he really went off.
Travis Hunter's not a big guy.
Is he not big? I thought
he's pretty.
Is he
small
too? All right, well that changes. I think I was thinking about them getting another wide receiver.
That's kind of one of my issues. He's obviously a great talent. He's got all the opportunities in the world to kind of play both sides. But I think his size is going to be a hindrance on him trying to play both ways. I think he's going to get getting pressed by the NFL cornerbacks. I think it's going to do a little bit of work on him getting hit. Mm-hmm. Playing on defense, I don't think he's going to play. He's nowhere near going to be able to play 100% of snaps on both sides.
That's borderline impossible.
I think his best opportunity might be nickel corner and like a slot receiver. This way, he kind of just
certain format or certain setups.
They still have Brian Thomas, who's definitely going to be their top wide receiver. I don't think he's going to overtake that job. With how Brian Thomas played last year,
it's 2 great wide receivers to have though. That's what I think. I think they're better off playing him full at wide receiver than cornerback because that's a pretty dominant elite wide receiver duo you got there.
Yeah, I mean,
Travis Hunter's a freak.
Yeah, I don't think he's the best wide receiver in the draft, but
no, I don't think he was either. But still,
I have all of them taken ahead of him. You have Cam Ward to the Titans, Jackson Dart to the Giants, Tyler Shuck to the Saints. That was kind of a surprise. Jalen Milroe to the Seahawks, and Dylan Gabriel to the Browns. I think when I saw Jalen Milroe went before him, I was really surprised by that one.
How much press coverage Milroe got compared to Shedeur Sanders? Everyone.
Well, he really wasn't that liked as a college quarterback. And then you have Quinn Ewers drafted in the 7th round, I believe, and he turned down apparently turned down an $8 million NIL deal. to return back to school, and now he's going to get $800,000 the first year. So missed out on maybe $7.2 million.
Yeah, they're kids, dude. They don't fucking know the right decision.
They have agents, so the agents could kind of tell them what to do.
Yeah, but
The other trade, there's a bunch of trades. But the other trade I really wanted to mention was Falcons traded pick 46, 242, and a 2026 first to the Rams for pick 26 and 101st, so that they could take DN James Pierce out of Tennessee to pair up with their new DN Jalen Walker, who they took at 15. Who I really like, Jalen Walker. James Pierce, good player, but he has a little bit of a character problem.
did the Rams pick them up or?
The Falcons. So the Falcons
okay.
traded up from the second round to
With
the
the
first
Rams.
round to get another pick in the first round.
Gotcha.
And I think they gave up too much. I mean, physically wise, talent wise, should be really good, but that's if he can, stay in the NFL and doesn't have any issues.
I got confused there because you're talking. I thought you said the Rams. I got like lost on if the Rams got the picks or the Falcons got the picks. I'm like, they also have Jared Verse from last year, who was a beast as well. But now I got you.
But I mean, if they work out, they have two very good defensive ends that can help them out for a long time. So if it works out, it works out, and it was good play. But we'll see. The other trade in the first round, Howie Roseman moves up one pick
With the Chiefs.
Yeah. So we give up 32nd and the 164th pick for the 31st pick to get linebacker Jahad Campbell out of Alabama. Didn't really know much about him before the draft, but now I love him.
Yeah, I don't think they expected him to make it all the way to the end of the draft.
Mm-mm.
So they said we got the most athletic linebacker in the draft. It's a awesome pick. I didn't realize at the time that Nakobe Dean wasn't also expected to be back in the beginning of the season. We don't have to rush Nakobe Dean back. I do wonder what the linebacker, who's going to start when all three of them are healthy and back.
Well, I'd imagine Dean would probably start, and they might have him play the edge.
Yeah.
Because he does have a lot of experience rushing from the edge. So I think it was kind of like,
Okay.
hey, he can play edge rusher, kind of, not saying he's Micah Parsons, but kind of a Micah Parsons type where he can play linebacker, like off-ball linebacker, or come in off the edge as like at the end.
Okay.
So I think kind of the versatility there was what they were looking for. But like you said, I think I heard they were trying to trade up in like the mid-20s to get up and get him. And then I guess everyone was saying no, or the package was too high, and then it just ended up keep falling.
I did see I think you know how Michael Parsons does a live reaction to all the drafts. Threw shade at the Eagles for now drafting a linebacker when obviously he would have liked to get drafted by them, by the Eagles at the time.
I don't think we had a pick high enough to get him.
To get Micah? I thought
Was that the Devontae year?
I think it was
That might have been the Devontae year where we could have gotten him.
Yeah, I think it was the Devontae year. Yeah, he kind of seemed a little shady. I don't know what the shady. He was pissed, but he's yeah, you can have him. Go ahead, take him.
Well, his last 2 years, his reactions have been all upset, the Eagles are doing this is unfair, blah blah blah. So maybe he's just trying to keep us cool.
Yeah. I mean, because all those clips went viral because we got all the best guys.
One other small news: the Eagles did pick up Jordan Davis' fifth-year option for 2026, so we got it for 2 more years.
Nice.
That's nice. No, we're not supposed to talk about politics, but the Eagles did visit the White House, and anyone that cares who went, who didn't go, you suck. Why would you care one way or the other? There's no who cares.
The amount of shit I've seen today about people so disappointed in Saquon, and I'm like, dude, can you guys give me a fucking break? He won the privilege to go see the White House. A lot of people, whether you like the president or not, it's also a matter of respect. How often do you get a chance to meet the president? It's a crazy honor. Not a lot of people get to do it, so I think it's ridiculous. Anyone that's saying that's also not my running back, you're a joke.
I think that people getting upset at Jalen Hurts for not going to are just as dumb. Just who cares?
Yeah, it was a scheduling conflict. That wasn't good.
No, but even if you just don't want to go, I could care less.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. I think the funnier part was Eli Ricks is apparently very interested in Ivanka Trump.
Oh yeah,
he put out a couple of tweets. He's like, damn, Donald Trump's daughter is beautiful. And he's look at her in person. She's definitely my type. Dude hasn't deleted the tweets either. They're still up. He just doesn't care. And then, have you seen the Bill Belichick interview?
Yeah, for his book, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I did see this with his 24-year-old girlfriend answering for him a few times.
Yep. Gets your butts in. Can't ask him how they met. No,
No.
It's not off the table.
No.
Even though I'm pretty sure we've already learned how they met. They met on a plane when she was doing homework. Pretty sure it's what they've said.
Oh, okay.
That was not a making up. Pretty sure that's what they've
That's because
been
I
on quote.
don't really see the joke there.
No, there was no joke. I think that's literally what they said. So
Okay.
I don't know why it's you can't say it now. It's more just a funny visual of the interview and just seeing her face in the background looking pretty mad.
And then I think doesn't she storm off and expected him to follow her, and then he just
I didn't
kept going
yeah,
with the interview.
I
or
only saw a
something.
little snippet of it, but yeah, feel bad for the interviewer, but it was really funny.
I mean, the
definitely
interviewer
got a lot of views. So
I was just gonna
it did
say,
well for their.
he kind of got out of it the way he wanted to. Like he got an interview that a lot of people were talking about, so his face is out there. It wasn't just an awkward interview. Like can't be doing that. Like that's a grown man, like doing a interview for his book, and you're sitting on the side and be like, he's not answering that. We're not answering any questions about that. Like,
I mean, her job is with Pete is like basically his social media person. So like maybe it's part of her job. Moving on to the MLB. So there's a big screw up with a play in the Nationals versus Mets game last Friday. Man on first, man on second. Ball gets hit directly to the first baseman. Looks like he kind of might snag it. He throws it to second for double play, then throws it back to first for triple play, but then on replay clearly bounces. And it seemed like the Mets knew that the whole time, arguing. And there's no way to go back and replay or like review it and change the call, which kind of sucks.
so it was a triple play.
Ended up being a triple play that should have maybe been one out.
Oh man, that's stupid as shit. Like,
Obviously ended the inning. It was in the fourth inning, so it didn't end the game.
right.
But just kind of a shame that you can't go back and change that call.
Yeah. Again, like if you do, you're kind of like, how many outs would they have gotten if it was like live on the field and they would have known? Like they would have played it differently. So I get the. But like, at the same time, like, how can you let somebody know immediately what the... Or, like, I was going to say, is it better off if you play it like it wasn't a catch? But then, even that's the case, like, you go back and review it, then it's weird. It's a tight call because, like, on such a millisecond play that whether it's in the glove, and a lot of time the glove's covering whether it hits the ground or not, that completely swaps the play, whether they can keep running forward or they all have to turn backwards. So, like, that little bit that can be covered by a glove... completely changing the direction of the runners is always going to have some flag questions. Like I don't know how you fix that.
Yeah, I know it's kind of tough, but I mean, more so with the I don't think you get like the robot ump in that case, but like we've seen sometimes where there's been a missed strike call, missed ball call this year. What do you feel about the robot umps? How do we?
I'd much rather have them. I'm so sick and tired of watching strikeouts called when the ball is like so blatantly out of the box. I'm perfectly fine with switching to. I know you're taking like the human aspect out of the game, but you're taking errors out of the game that are not made by the players, which is just annoying. Like if you're batting and you see a ball as a ball and you don't swing, and then the umpire decides that you strike out now, it's terrible. Like what do you expect? Like you can't expect them not to get livid if it happens to them multiple times. Like 2 strikes and 1 at bat are clearly balls, and they called, and the guy strikes out. Now that ump has the power to kick this guy out of the game when he blatantly just ruined that up bat for it. Like it's stupid.
I mean, I don't think they should go fully to it, but I think like what they did in spring training wasn't too bad. Where they did 1 per team per inning. I don't think that idea was too bad with like the balls and strikes, or maybe like 3 or 5, somewhere between 3 and 5 per game per team. And they're like, if you get like X amount right, you get another one. Like, I don't think we should just be able to do it every single pitch because I think that's just even though they do it pretty fast, it would just make up unreasonable time for different things, and they would just be it would get annoying where players do it every time, and they're wrong every time.
I have a question.
So I think what?
Clearly, batters have gotten to the point of being able to tell at sometimes better than the umpire whether it's a ball or a strike. Correct?
Yeah.
And in the process of doing that, they also have to decide whether to swing or not, which the umpire does not. The umpire is full focused saying if that ball was a ball or a strike, right? If we start finding them for every time they one up, maybe they'll get better. We don't have to replace them with computers.
Yeah, but then you're not going to have umps. You're not going to have people want to ump if they get.
If they have to do their job correctly.
Well, if they get fined. I mean, some umps really aren't that. Some umps miss only a couple calls here and there. I think.
Well, then make it a percentage then. If you mess up like 5 strikes in one game, you are fined with like unpaid suspension. Or like
that's still like 5 strikes would be like 2.5% of the whole pitches in that game. It's a pretty low percentage. I know what you're saying, but at the same time,
it's still like their only job is to get that right. Like that is their only purpose on that field is to determine whether that ball is a strike or not. They don't have to hit it. They don't have to catch it. They are front row seat looking at the ball to determine. And like I'm not trying to diminish how hard that is. I understand how hard that is. But this is what this guy's job is. If you're standing front row and your only purpose is staring at that ball and the box and like determine whether it's a strike or a ball, like you should get punished because it is a big deal when it's a strike 3 and it's a clearly ball. That thing gets messed up, or maybe have another box, a bigger box that if it's outside of that and they call it a strike, it's an immediate fine.
That one's not too bad. Fine box.
Yeah, fine box. Yeah, yeah. Like, I think that makes sense. Like if it's that bad of a ball and you call it a strike, you get fined. And to your point too, they don't have to call all the pitches of the game because every swing is an automatic decision.
Fair point.
So take every swing out of the pitches. It's only the ones that they don't swing at that they have to make a decision.
That's a good point.
I think they should be fined, or there should be a fine. I like this
Fine box. Yeah.
Fine box isn't a bad idea. Because like there are some
MLB,
better.
if you name it that, you have to pay us.
Yeah,
You legally have to pay us.
you heard it here first. The fine box for umpires. Because there are some balls that you look at it, like that's not even like remotely close to a strike. And like,
I mean, like you said, players are really good at it, but then you also have Javier Baez or Castellanos swinging at something 3 feet outside sometimes.
But they also have to swing and just like
no, I get no,
their decision has to be made quicker than the umpires.
I think we did see, because the minor leagues have been doing this, I think, for a little bit longer and have it used it more. And I think we saw where a lot of the minor leaguers had way better understanding of the strike zone because they had the ability to call, like for like the review. So they got way better in tune with where the actual strike zone was and wasn't.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we're also getting a change strike zone coming next year, so that might kind of hurt.
What do you mean change, like a bigger strike zone?
No, it's like they're changing like how they measure it compared to someone's body, like where it starts and stops and stuff.
Huh.
I think it starts at a certain point and it goes up to like a certain percentage of the person's height. It's weird.
Well, it should be based on their height, right?
Yeah, but I think before it was basically like knees to
shoulders,
to
or
the
chest,
like
yeah,
the chest. I think now it's basically just knees to like a certain percentage of your total height, which should be the same thing, but different people have different torso sizes and whatnot, so it'll be a little bit weirder.
Fine box though, make it happen.
I guess more just in terms of the Phillies, we're playing a little bit better.
Dude, Chicago,
Yeah.
not a bad series.
Yep.
I think did we split 2-2?
No, it was a 3-game. So yeah, we beat them 2-1.
2-1.
So we won the last 2 games. Dude, Stott's been playing a lot better with the leading off. He was did the stats the other night, so they might be a little off after last night. But is batting .304 in the past week and .309 in the month of April.
Okay.
2 doubles, 2 triples, a home run, 12 RBIs, and 9 walks. So he's been doing pretty good as a leadoff hit.
How long has he been leadoff? And where's Schwarby?
Well, they kind of been going to different lineups. Schwarber's still leading off sometimes. Kind of depends on who they have all in the field. He's hitting the ball well. We still have a little bit of a struggle with Alec Boehm, although he's been improved.
Yeah,
but not fully. And then we have Johan Rojas with his first home run since like last June.
Yeah,
last night,
that was crazy.
Sweet. Hit a bomb too. It was like 400-some feet. Oh, I mean, last night was just, roller coaster up and down. Up 5-2 in the 9th, and Kirkering lets 4 runs score.
Holy shit.
Trey Turner overthrow at first, probably could have stopped 3 of those runs at least, and we would have won. But thankfully, we won in overtime, or not overtime. We won in the bottom of the 9th off of a wild pitch, which was the first wild pitch game winner we've had since 1993.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
So I've seen they happen. They're not that rarity of a happening. Like, they do happen every now and then. And we haven't had one since 1993. You said?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter today.
Holy
John
shit.
Kruk. Well, he wasn't the winner, but he was part of the highlights.
Okay.
Did see Phillies prospect in AAA. Let's see if I get this name right. Koyo Ayagi.
Ooh, that sounded right.
8 innings pitched last night. I think he had 1 earned run. Really good outing last night. Maybe he might be someone we could bring up soon to help out with the bullpen.
Rangers
That's my hope.
Been practicing more too, right? Is he coming back?
Yeah. But I'm same for the bullpen.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Gotcha.
That would help though. I mean, if we could put, maybe Taiwan in the bullpen. Some people I think might want Ranger, but I like him starting. Although Taiwan's been pretty good lately, so can't really hate on him too much. Nola had a good game the other day too,
which is great to hear.
Well, one thing I know we talked about the NL West and how good they've been. The last team in the division is not doing too so well. The Rockies are 4 in. They were 23 the other day. Worst team in the MLB.
Mm-hmm. Well, we said that they had
really
3
bad.
Dominant teams and 1 just abysmal Rockies.
That's even worse than the White Sox, though.
Yeah,
it's really bad. I think they're on pace for like 24 wins in a season, which I think might be worse than I can't remember what the White Sox got exactly last year. But it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's sorry for your Rocky fans.
Moving on to the NBA. We got 2 sweeps. Oklahoma City sweeps the Grizzlies, and the Cleveland Cavaliers sweep the Heat. I just dog walked them the other night.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Beat them by almost 60 points. That was just no shot.
Never close either.
No.
Like, not at one point of the game did they have a chance.
Ja Morant can't do his gun celebrations anymore, at least until next season.
Well, yeah, fair enough. That makes sense.
Both of those kind of, there's really not much to talk about with just how badly they beat the teams.
Mm-hmm.
Did have the Nuggets get the series up to 3-2 last night. They won 131 to 115. So I know I fell asleep at one point at the end of the third quarter. They're up 16, kept the 16-point lead. I mean, Jokic is doing well. He's averaging almost 30 points.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Murray had 43 last night though. Really
Okay.
helped him out. Because other than that, it's been kind of quiet from some of the other guys in the series.
Yeah,
think
Aaron Gordon's had a couple good games, but
Yeah, but he's averaging 17. So
yeah.
I think Russell Westbrook even had 20 last night. Clippers, I mean, they're a little more spread out with Kawhi, 26.5. Harden, 21. Oh, I forgot we didn't. Game 4 ended was pretty crazy. You see the one with
Was that
the buzzer beater?
Yes, I did, which was insane actually. I couldn't figure out if we talked about this or when this happened, but it happened. What is it? Late last
Probably
week.
Yeah, it's on Saturday.
So yeah, absolutely crazy buzzer beater. Jokic has the ball. Are they down?
Down to 101 to 99.
So he tied it up with it. No, because I thought they won with that.
Yeah, it might have been 100 to 99.
Yeah, so I think they were down 1.
No, it was 99-99. So they were tied.
They're tied. So Jokic has the ball, getting like double teamed, throws up almost like a Hail Mary like 3-pointer, like falling back, chucks it up, and Gordon sees that it's airballing, and again clock's going down, catches it, and like dunks it, but almost like drops it into the basket.
Yeah, it doesn't really look like he touches the rim at all.
No, it doesn't look like he touches the rim. But he somehow gets a buzzer beater dunk that there's no clock left after the game, like after the basket, which is an insane feat on its own, considering when you dunk, you drop the ball into the basket. And like buzzer beaters happen because the guy like will chuck it up and it leaves his hand and the clock runs out when the ball's in the air. But like when you get a buzzer beater and the ball is never really in the air, that's why it's one of the craziest buzzer beaters you've ever seen.
Yeah. And I think I saw the fake FanDuel post that was Aaron Gordon to have a buzzer beater in this round, and it was like $50 to win like 50 grand. It's like no one plays that.
No,
there's not a single. That's fake. I mean, you can bet on that, but they wrote that up in the little Photoshop.
Yeah, this is Aaron Gordon's one of Aaron Gordon's best friends.
Well, no, it was FanDuel that posted it, but it was just.
I'm saying, oh, okay, I get what you're saying, but it was a post of a bet, right?
Well, yeah, FanDuel posted a screenshot, but
Yeah,
where'd that screenshot come from?
well, that's what I'm saying. The only person I can imagine placing a bet like that is like a close friend of Aaron Gordon's.
I think they're just trying to get us all to bet $50 on.
I think they are too. Yeah, they're picking like, oh, who's got the best odds to hit her buzzer beater, and like, yeah, that's never gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, I mean, lucky he got one.
Mm-hmm.
So they go. I think let's see, 3-2 now. So they'll go back to L.A. and Inglewood to fight for Game 6 there. Clippers can try and come back, or the Nuggets take them away.
Yep.
Lakers really struggling to get past the Timberwolves.
My first pick.
I really wanted them to. I'm glad I didn't get them. JJ Redick had the starters play almost all the minutes last night or the other night. I think LeBron and Luka played like 45, 46 minutes each, and none of the starters came out in the second half at all. Looked pretty good, but then the fourth quarter they kind of got.
They're all gassed.
Yeah, I think that might have affected the players a little bit.
Yeah, it does. I mean, like I said, you want to keep the best players in, but it's a long game, and it's a part of like you weather the storm of having your subs in, and you split the subs up so that everyone can get rest. And if you don't, like you said, fourth quarter you have fresh starters coming back compared to your beat up, tired starters. They're gonna dominate.
Yeah, and I think some of it, like I don't think like a playoff lineup should be that deep. I think it should maybe like 7 guys, like not too deep, but at least like throwing other ones in there, throwing different combinations in there. You can kind of get different looks to, maybe try and confuse the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they know exactly what they're looking at the whole time. Who has who, where they might be able to try and switch onto on offense and attack maybe Luka or a weaker defender.
If they're not subbing, like you kind of can go at one of the guys and really like tucker them out as a player. Like it's a really risky not play but like scheme to have.
Yeah. And then you're gonna be tired on that last three that you shoot, Austin Reeves.
What's that series looking like right now?
It's 3-1 as they go back to LA.
That's scary. That's scary.
I mean, I do think LA is going to win the next game. I can't imagine they're going to lose it. But, I mean, I definitely not a LeBron hater. I would kind of like to see him win another one.
Yeah, I wanted to see him win it with Luka.
Yeah, and I wouldn't. I mean, I don't think the narrative can be like, oh, he didn't win it this year with, like, if he doesn't win it this year with Luka, it's like, oh, it failed. It's like they've had half a season to get used to each other. I think in the offseason, Rob Pelinka in the front office will do a good job with setting him up like with players around him.
Right. And like you said, it's the first year JJ's coach.
Yeah, I
so,
forgot it, JJ.
So like, yeah, that is. There are a lot of aspects that you can look at and be like, yeah, we didn't get it this year, but like another year on the belt, on these guys' belts together can improve. We don't have to make any drastic changes.
Because like their record after Luka got there was really good, so we know they can play well together. It's just the playoffs are a different, whole different matter. Golden State, they won Game 3 at home, 104-93, despite Jimmy's having that he was out with a pelvic injury and deep gluteal muscle contusion.
Oh, shit.
Never had that one. And then they win Game 4 as well to make it a 3-1 lead over Houston as they return to Houston for Game 5. Not a good one for me as I took Houston with the 4th pick.
Yeah, I did notice that Houston's not playing well at all, so I did like seeing that.
Getting pretty chippy, too.
Yeah.
They don't like each other. I mean,
anytime Draymond's on the court, it's going to be chippy.
It wasn't Draymond's fault this time.
Yeah, but he
I did feel bad. Dylan Brooks tried to steal the ball from Steph's hands. As he's getting up, plays over, whistle blown, and Dylan Brooks just wants to be a menace and tries to steal the ball. Draymond kind of just like doesn't really push him away, just like pushes him with his body, not like a shove.
Yeah.
Ends up getting a tee, which I didn't really think he deserved. I know Draymond's reputation.
Yeah, that's containing himself. That's like that was
that's what I mean. That was the least confrontational I've ever seen Draymond Green in my life.
He's maturing.
Well, it's gray hair and the beard.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sucks to see. It's like, damn, I'm kind of old. I remember seeing Draymond like play when he was young.
Mm-hmm.
And they get into the league. Now he has gray hairs and
the NBA ages you, dude.
The Pacers closed out the Bucks last night 4-1. So they move on to the second round to play the Cavs. Tore his Achilles, so I feel really bad for him. He's one of my favorite players, at least when he was on the Trailblazers, a non-Sixer favorite player. And to see him kind of, he's going to be out for most of, if not all of next season. That's usually like a 9 to 12 month rehab, I feel like. And he's getting up there in age, so it's only a matter of time.
Gotcha.
Giannis was not happy as he got in a fight with Tyrese Halliburton's dad.
With his dad?
Yeah. Halliburton's dad kind of just got on the court, just started just walking right up to Giannis for no reason at all. And then Giannis ends up going like forehead to forehead with him. Kind of all Halliburton's dad's fault. You're not a part of the team. Yeah. You can't do that. I mean, if you're part of the team, I don't think any of the players would do that to Giannis.
Mm-mm.
So definitely as someone that's not actually on the team, you can't just go and mock someone.
Yeah, you can't get on the court and mock a player. And, like, that's ridiculous.
Especially when he's like a foot taller than you.
Yeah, he's not the type of guy you want to mock anyway.
Celtics also win their round against the Magic 4-1. And then Detroit, they won Game 5 last night to keep themselves alive as they play Game 6 sitting at 3-2 against the Knicks.
Mm-hmm. That... I would love to see the Pistons beat the Knicks.
Oh yeah, Cade's really fun to watch.
No, like I said, they're a big flopping team, and it's just reminds me of Trae Young. Atlanta did, like how Trae Young used to be like thrive in the playoffs, and he did against us too. Where it's like that stop and jump backwards foul plan. It's hard to watch and it's not exciting.
Which I thought they made illegal, but apparently not.
As I said, they tried to call it, and then they just gave up.
Called it for like 2 games, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was, it's one of the things that everyone, I think, universally says
they hate.
Yeah. I think even like the players that do it probably don't actually like it. They just know they can get away with it, so why would you not do it?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So in that sense, I don't necessarily blame them for it. If you know you can get away with it, you're going to get a foul called. Why wouldn't you do it?
Mm-hmm.
But it makes the game kind of unbearable at times to watch.
I got a brief NHL breakdown. There were no full sweeps, no 4-0 sweeps in the series. The closest we had was the Canes Devils, which we said from the beginning. Canes are just playing a completely different level. Devils are banged up, but Canes dominated them, won the series 4-1. A couple teams can also win the series 4-1, one of which is the Capitals playing the Canadiens tonight. They're at 3-1 right now, so could close the series out. I think their game's at 7. And the other one, which I don't love, because I think with my last pick I took the Lightning, was Panthers are doing the same thing tonight against the Lightning.
So I had the Hurricanes, so I have one team that's moving on.
Yeah, Canes was a great pick. So yeah, Panthers playing the Lightning tonight, also to possibly go 4-1 and win the series. Only other game tonight is, well, I should say, the rest of the series are all currently sitting at 3-2. There's one that's 2-2, and that's my team, the Jets, who I also have a future on winning the entire thing, which I'm a little nervous about that. Like I said, as long as you get a win tonight, win game, which would be game, I guess, 6, win the series, I'm happy because the Blues are a really good team. So the Jets did get a tough matchup, but yeah. So Jets are playing Blues tonight. Also, I think that one's at 10 o'clock, 2-2.
I do want to say, I mean, I feel like most of these NHL, like the Stanley Cup playoff games so far, have been extremely close.
Yeah,
like compared to like the NBA games where some of them have been really close, but some of them have been blowouts. Like all the Heat, Cavs games, a lot of the Magic, Celtics games have been blowouts. But I feel like all these like Stanley Cup games have been almost like neck and neck.
Yeah, like they've been honestly a good put on when you're even like out drinking. And you're like they have been the best watching because, like I said, there's a lot of goals being scored currently, and there's matchups. A lot of them are going to late in the third period, and it's like I said, it makes playoff hockey is great. Wish we had a team in it. Wish we can remember having a team in it. Honestly, it's been a while now.
Yep.
But it is a great watch. So the other teams like I said, the rest of them are all sitting at 3-2. Besides the ones I mentioned already. Maple Leafs are ahead of the Senators 3-2. Dallas Stars brought it back and they're ahead of the Avalanche 3-2.
So I think their last game I was watching on Monday and the national anthem was going on and I think I looked at my phone and looked up and Dallas had already scored. I was like, what?
Oh yeah,
it was like really within like 12 seconds. I was like, how did I?
That was Saturday, was it not?
I think it was Monday, but I could be wrong.
No, because I feel like I was out drinking for that. But they scored in the first like 30 seconds. You might be right because I think
it was Monday.
I was bowling Monday and I saw that.
It was just like literally I saw them celebrating. I was like, what the heck just happened?
I think it was within the first 30 seconds they scored. So Stars are up on the Avalanche 3-2. Knights are up on Minnesota Wild 3-2, and the Oilers brought it back and they're beating the Kings now.
Yep, my Oilers.
That is
good
awesome.
Last pick.
Very happy about that. McDavid hopefully making it to see another round.
Yeah, I did feel bad. I have a coworker that is a Jersey Devils fan, and when I went to sleep last night, the Devils were getting were smoking the Hurricanes.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, like, did your Devils win? I know they were winning. He's like, fuck you. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. That was a genuine question. I didn't look at the scores. I didn't see who won or lost. He's like, nope. They came back. Then we took a goal, and then they came back and won overtime. I was like, oh, my bad. I really didn't mean to do that to you because I felt so bad.
Like to lose the series too. And you went, oh, I saw your Devils were winning. They end up winning the entire game. No, we're out of the playoffs, Ryan. Thank you.
So I felt a little bit bad with that one, but
by next week, all these series should be wrapped up. So we'll be talking about second round.
Yep.
Very excited. Now you got some horses for me to pick.
Well, we gotta look at the DraftKings and you gotta
okay
what names spot looks at you. But one thing I was looking at, I didn't realize the trainers of the horses, legendary trainer Bob Baffert is apparently back. He's 3 years suspension is done in the Derby.
Wait. Bob Baffert's back?
Yeah, he's back.
Holy shit, that changes everything, right?
I don't think you know who he is.
I've never even heard of that name before.
So he got caught with a horse with steroids, but it's not really his fault because the horse is the one that took the steroids.
That's
not him.
true. Why is he getting punished?
It's a little unfair, but he's one of, if not the best horse trainer, ever to do it. So it's just, I mean, he's usually a good pick that you just bet on his horses.
Is that what
I think he is too. I will be doing that. Yes.
Okay, is that who you're picking?
Let's see here.
So I'm reading off some names here. Is this the Citizen Bull?
Yep, that's one of Bob's.
Okay, Neoquos. Final Gambit, Rodriguez, American Promise.
It's a good name.
American Promise. Admire Daytona, Japan. Nice. Luxor Cafe. Journalism.
He's the favorite.
Yeah, looking at it, he's a journalism
4-1.
Burnham Square, Grande, Flying Mohawk, East Avenue.
That's a good one.
Flying Mohawk is a great name. East Avenue, Publisher, and Tiztastic.
It's a funny one.
I love Tiztastic off the rip, but
You're missing a couple.
Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, my God.
You got Render Judgment.
Coal
Battle.
Mm-hmm.
Sandman. I like that one. Sovereignty. Chunk of Gold. Or Owen Almighty. And then Beza. I know Bob has another one in here.
I did not realize this would be 21, honestly. I stopped reading a 14 thing, and there's no way they keep going.
So I know Bob at Citizens Bowl. He has one other one. Where is it? Oh, he's Rodriguez. But Citizens Bowl, I like it. I mean, it's red. Reminds me of the Citizens Bank Park.
So Rodriguez is 12-1. Citizens Bowl is 20-1.
Yeah, so might have to go with that. Citizens Bowl 20-1.
Okay.
Or maybe like a little.
Do you want to pick?
You combine both of them and do to place, to show.
I just say let's do a couple to place. Why don't we do that? I'm
I'm going Baffert. You got to do it.
You're just copying them, rolling with them. I'm taking 120-1, and I think it's gonna be Tistastic. And then I will take a better odds.
I wouldn't mind taking Sandman. I think
I'll take Sandman.
Sandman's 5-1. I kind of like that one.
I got him at 6.
Oh, you're right. 6. I don't know. Some of these numbers are weird.
All right, so I'm taking Sandman and Tistastic to place.
All right.
Look for our horse bets. We'll post what we're betting. Just because.
Oh, place is first or second. Okay.
In what show? 3?
Yeah.
Okay. That's tough, dude.
That is
3 out of the 21 to get right.
All right, but yeah, there's your Kentucky Derby.
We'll post a screenshot of the bets, the horses that we're betting on. Probably do 2 of them to show.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep an
Just
eye
small
out.
bets because I don't know horses gonna do like $5 here.
I've picked it straight off name. Yeah, that's not gonna be crazy, but might do 100 on Tismastic though.
It's a ballsy pick. All right, moving on to our pop culture with The Last of Us episode 3.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Is that better this time?
It was a lot better this time.
Okay.
Thank you, Ryan.
So everything beyond now is a spoiler if you haven't seen episode 3.
Yes.
One episode off of the halfway, or a half episode off the halfway mark, because I think we only have 7 episodes this season.
Mm-hmm.
Little disappointing, but yeah. So whole episode they just they're going up northwest to Seattle.
Yep. Washington.
Well, did you know? Did you notice what the W stood for in WAF?
Washington.
W Alpha? Yeah. Oh, crazy.
It did, right? It did. But they still said they're going to Seattle. But so this episode, as a whole, you did get to see some grieving. The Ellie waking up.
Ellie did much better this episode.
Ellie, when she first woke up, and like immediately was still like in the room, like still was like going through it. That was pretty sad. She faded. Like you can tell she's beat up. Like her ribs are pretty banged up. And she like woke up and like immediately they show the scene of Joel with the golf club in his neck, and she just starts screaming ballistic till they knock her out again. But that was great.
Still kind of wondering what her injuries actually were that made her have to stay in there for 3 months.
I think her ribs got destroyed.
I don't think that takes 3 months to heal.
If it punctures a lung, it could, or like puncturing.
It
does.
It just didn't seem like she got hit that hard.
She got full kicked in the ribs multiple times. One of them could have busted into her lung.
Yeah.
And they kept doing like the breathing test on her too. Like I think it might have been some lung problems.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how long that takes, but
it's not something quick to recover from. And like I said, she was doing push-ups and sit-ups in the hospital room. So
she was fine.
They didn't let her leave, right? She wanted to leave. Don't blame her. It's a hospital.
I'm blaming the hospital, not her.
Right. She does get visited by the psychologist, I guess you call her.
Psychotherapist or
psychotherapist, yes. She's got an interesting character. Like I said, she was Tommy's therapist, or not Tommy, Joel's therapist. Joel's gone now. I guess she's there. She can talk. Like all she said to Tommy was that like some people can't be fixed. Like Ellie's gonna do what she wants to do. So, I guess good point. Kind of funny. She was like, I just drink all the time and I smoke because I don't have my own therapist.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
You kind of do feel bad for her because all therapists actually do need the therapist that they can go to.
Yeah, and it is a time period where I'm sure a lot of people need therapy considering there's zombies killing your loved ones constantly. Yeah. So, like, it is definitely a time where therapists are in high demand, and she, being someone that did lose her husband, not to a zombie, to a Joel.
Well, we don't know if it was a zombie first or not.
True, very true. But, yeah, it was funny seeing, like, I'm the only one, so I use alcohol as much as I can, and I smoke all day.
Yeah, we did find out where Eugene used to grow his pot. That Gail said apparently was big buds all year round. So
yeah, was it Jesse took Ellie there, right?
Yep. But one thing I did have to say, Ellie finds out Joel's grave's 10 miles south, and Tommy's like, yeah, you can visit that, and she's like, we'll visit on the way to Seattle. It's not on the way to Seattle. That's south. Seattle's northwest.
Good factoid, right?
Just don't think.
Took a real detour there.
Yep. And looking at that, how long do you think it should take someone to get from Jackson, Wyoming to Seattle, Washington?
Looking at what?
Just how long do you think someone should have? Like, I looked it up.
On a shared horseback, give me a week to 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2 weeks to a month.
2 weeks to a month, yeah.
Because I think, riding a bike takes like somewhere like between like 48 hours.
And they did it in about one alphabet game.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, I think one alphabet game and then one slumber party, and they're walking up on Seattle.
Yep. Was a little upset that she did not thank Seth as they left. This dude literally traded you a better rifle and helped get all these supplies and helped get you out without getting caught.
Big episode for Seth.
Yep.
Big redeeming episode for
I mean,
the D word.
I understand you don't like the guy, but I think a little thank you might be a little appreciated.
Trade it. It's better. That was great. I don't question it. Trade the gun. It's better.
It's just a jammed gun.
It's a water gun. Super soaker.
Pew, pew.
The scene with the council was great. You had two people stand up and be like, it's not even a question. Like, no, we're not. Like, people die all the time. Like, we can't risk more people. And then Seth goes up like, what a bunch of pussies. Like, are you kidding me? Like, they're gonna come back now because we don't do anything. Like, when he's speaking, I don't even think it was his turn to speak.
Well, no, he didn't have a turn.
No,
his name was not on the list.
His name was not on the list. He just got up because he was annoyed with how many people were squabbling, crying about, like, oh, like, we can't risk any more of our own just because one person died. Like, a lot of people died yesterday. Like, we can't risk anymore. He's like, those were zombies. Like, someone came to our place and killed one of ours. Like, this is not the same thing. They're gonna come back if we don't retaliate and defend ourselves. And it was great too because I think it was Jesse that said something to Ellie about, like, you're angry. People aren't gonna respond to anger. Like, write it down and make a speech. And Seth got up and did exactly what Ellie was about to do, or would have done had she not prepared a speech like Jesse told her. And Ellie's speech was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there's some parts of it were kind of, I don't know, a little cheesy.
See, I liked Ellie's. I'm gonna be honest with you, Rye. I almost teared up a little bit with Ellie's speech. I was like,
I thought it was good. I thought like her reasoning just being kind of like, on the same line of, like, the justice part. I thought that was good. I understand both the other people's points where they're like, we just lost a bunch of people. We can't afford to do this right now.
Right.
And kind of to the, thinking about it more, who's to say if you go and you do kill, Abby or multiple of the WLF or whatever they are,
Wolves,
that they don't come back and you're just kind of in this constant, war. Whereas, like, if you just maybe man up the patrols and man up the defenses, that if they do come back, you're ready for them. Because, like, we end up finding out at the end of the episode that they're probably a lot bigger than we thought.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is at the time we kind of thought, like, it might just be these kids and it's not gonna be like a big militia. Like, they got full on tanks. Like, they are a soldier battalion.
Which, where the you get those from?
Seattle,
this is
bro.
this is like 30 years in the future after the issues. They look pristine, brand new.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way there's manufacturing sites.
Yeah, but there's military. Like, people who in the military are trained to maintain these tanks.
I don't think they look that good after 30 years, whether or not you're maintaining them or not.
You keep something in great condition and don't use it too much. Like, I'm
not saying it can't run. It just shouldn't look like that.
I don't know.
It looks brand new.
You could clean it every day. I think it can look good. I mean, here's my thing, right? Is
because if also you had those, there's probably been in fights.
Yeah, but if, like, in my mind, they have them in Seattle. Like, I'm thinking that they made Seattle a bunker and held it down so that it's really not moving too much out of Seattle, and it's kind of like you could easily maintain a tank if it stays in the city for that.
So I'm not saying that they can't have them at all. I think they just look like they're brand new, and that is what makes me
really mad.
Well, because it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to the Gale and Tommy scene, you're a little too close to the baseball field, Gale. Back up a little bit.
Yeah. Like,
I know it's T-ball, but you're literally like 2 feet off like the dirt.
2 feet out of the dirt. Yeah. I didn't know you were a fan.
Well, you're Tiger season tickets.
Yeah.
This team's about as good as the 03 team.
Yeah. That was great.
It's a young Miguel Cabrera.
It was 10-year-olds playing baseball.
Like, they're T-ball, but they're a little bit older than T-ball age, I would say.
Yeah.
And Gale, you're playing a shift, an illegal shift right now. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's an extra man in the outfield. Psychologist in the outfield.
And I mean, Tommy knew what was going to happen. What happened was going to happen, and just surprised he didn't have someone kind of watch Ellie. Maybe the night that they were told that they can't go.
Again, to I think Gail's point, there's nothing you can do.
That's fair.
Like, that was kind of, I think he came to grips, like, she's like, I'm afraid for her. It's like, it's kind of out of your reach. Like, Joel would have done the same thing. She's literally, I think her and Joel went side to side together. Like, they're the same person.
That, and at the same time, like, you can't really control what people do. You can't be like, no, you can't leave, and it's just 2 of them.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, like, yeah, if they die, they lose, like, some equipment and stuff like that, but it's really not the biggest loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's just 2 people. So, like, in there, like, it's not the worst thing that could happen.
2 young girls, honestly, too.
Well, that part isn't great, but
All right. So yeah, we didn't even mention her. Did Dina? I think her name is. Goes with Ellie. Shows up when she's trying to pack up all of her stuff, and it's like, dude, do you even have the assortment of a plan together?
she's got like 5 guns just laid out. Like,
She
yeah,
has-
you're gonna get caught.
She has grenades, rifles, everything laid out. No medical equipment. No, like I think a can of beans. Like no way of making it anywhere near close enough to Seattle. And she's like, "What happens if you roll an ankle? You're done. Like you have nothing prepared for anything else besides shooting."
And the shoes came back into play that I mentioned the other day.
The Converse?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Chucks. Just maybe not the. I mean, I know you got a cool rifle or whatever, or the holster, but maybe not the best idea to trade your only boots.
Right. And Dina
In
called her out for
Jackson,
it. It's like,
Wyoming.
also, last thing we got to talk about the boots. You can't do it. So
Those boots were not made for walking.
No.
I'll tell you that.
no, they were not, Ryan. So she got herself a pair of boots. She got herself a better sniper from Seth.
Think they look sweet.
And like a loaded up horse too. Like he's like all
Yeah.
like here's a horse loaded up with like everything I could ration. Like what a beast.
Yeah, it's what I mean. Like that's like the no thank you was kind of upsetting to me. It's like you're not even gonna like. I know he did call you a dyke, which is terrible, but like he did get pushed down to the ground by Joel, and yeah, let someone kind of amend for what they did wrong.
Yeah, I agree. And then like he apologized. He honestly, the speech alone at the council meeting was enough to win me back over. But again, also the sniper giving them a horse loaded up with equipment, like he definitely did his part trying to amend it. So, shouts out to Seth. We forgive.
Kind of wondering. So the vote was 3-8. Kind of. I mean, pretty sure Tommy was one of them. Wouldn't be surprised if Marie was a second
I think
vote
Jesse
for
was
yes.
the third.
I don't know.
Do you think it was just like they're the three people?
We obviously don't. Yeah, we don't.
They're
know
the
anyone
three
else.
characters on the council that we know.
That I mean, it makes the most sense, but at the same time, his way of just not answering her question kind of made me think that he might have been a no.
But she took his advice to a T.
Yeah, no, you're
and
right.
did exactly what he suggested, and he was an immediate answer too.
I mean, I would like to think that he was a yes.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's kind of
the fact
annoying
that it
not
was
to know.
three, and we know 3 people at the council. It's like it's got to be like
I kind of almost wish they did like a Survivor thing where we find out who voted for everyone and no one else knows.
go to a separate room.
Yes. No.
Sorry, Ellie, but we can't afford it right now.
You're off the island.
You are the weakest link. All right, that wraps up that episode
Yeah.
pretty much, right?
Yeah, I mean, next episode, they're probably going to get caught, I would guess.
Yeah, I think they're walking into a lot more than they're prepared for.
They might be in,
Wait,
might be in Sector 3-4 or 5-6. We don't know.
So kind of, like I don't even know. Like it happened this episode. We should mention it.
Oh, yeah,
The
the
bald
weird...
people with
Yeah.
the Joker scars.
Yeah.
Like kind of cute. Like I was gonna say, like the whistling thing was cool.
Yeah,
the
that was
little
really
girl
cool.
getting a hammer to protect herself was cool. And then like we find them all just massacred
Yep. Definitely by the wolves.
by the
And
wolves.
They said they're leaving war, so we kind of wonder. You have to wonder who they were in war with.
I think
Was
they
it the
said
wolves?
something about the wolves too.
I don't know because they call them demons.
I know, but I could have swore he said wolves at one point as well. I could be
Maybe.
wrong. But I
mean,
think he
because
said
it was
wolves.
kind of hard to tell if they were walking in the direction Ellie and Dina were, or if they were walking the other direction.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The whistling was cool. The kid was cool.
Because they didn't really seem like an aggressive group.
I know, but
It seemed like they were more just like like
the
if
buzz cut and Joker scars is like a little intimidating, but like
well, it's definitely a cult vibe, but I don't
Yeah.
think they were an aggressive type. Because I think if they were, they wouldn't have just immediately ran away. They would have stood and
they gave its 12-year-old a hammer.
yeah to protect, but they hid behind trees and clearly
Right.
didn't get up from that.
Yeah, which is that's very true, very true. So I'm curious if we have to see more of them at some point.
Oh yeah,
Maybe they come to the aid of Ellie and Dina when shit goes wrong with the wolves.
does she have to get the scars?
I don't know if she will need scars. I don't know if
Does she come back to Jackson and be like, "Do you want to know how I got these scars?"
Yeah. My father was a drinker. But no, I don't think Dina and Ellie are coming back with Joker scars and buzz cuts.
The Batman.
Where is the Batman? Moving on to our color scheme draft. So jersey color schemes.
9 votes, 78% me for the bucket list event draft.
Really?
Yeah.
That's bullshit. That's ass, dude. I mean, I was concerned about the fact that we were always like we're a sports podcast and everyone was gonna vote sports, but like
Oh yeah, a little pop culture.
no, yeah, we sprinkle a little bit of pop culture, but I feel like I clean swept with my not having. You
I
had
don't
two
know.
golf. You had two golf outings.
Yeah, and they're sweet things. And
I
you have
know,
the
but
World Cup final, which
I'd
you
rather go
pooped on.
to all of mine than all of yours.
I strongly disagree. I feel the exact opposite, but
I mean, just venture out to other things, explore the world.
I mean, Oktoberfest, yes, I'd like to go to, but I mean,
This
they could.
Las Vegas Sphere. Have you ever seen a video of that?
No, that one might actually get in the top 4, but I don't think. I think I'd probably. No, I don't know because I don't know that I'd do that over the Stanley Cup final.
I
either.
would. Yeah, dude, the Masters doesn't even seem like it'd be a fun event to be at.
Oh
all.
no, I think it'd be a great time.
I don't think it is. You can't have your phone the whole time.
Oh,
it's not,
okay.
it's
boo-hoo.
not a drinking thing at all.
Yes, it is.
It's a respectable thing. Like you're not getting rowdy there. Really.
You don't have to get ready, but you can still get hammered.
Yeah.
You see some of the beer stacks that people have there
I'd rather be hammered looking at it most.
because the beers are all.
mind-blowing
I think the
show.
beers are also only like $3.
Oh, whatever, dude. I lost. It's fine. I just think everyone else is wrong.
All right, but before we dive into today's draft, we've got to tell you about something we've been loving lately. Light Strike Hard Refresher. If you're looking for a drink that's crisp, smooth, and actually refreshing, this is it. It's 5% malt alcohol made with 10% coconut water and a hint of sea salt, so it's light, clean, and easy to drink. Plus, it's gluten-free and non-carbonated, meaning no bloat, no fizz, just pure, laid-back sipping. Whether you're chilling by the beach, kicking back after work, or just need a break from the usual seltzers, Light Strike is the move. Seriously, try it out and let us know what you think, as they have 2 flavors, orange mango and
what I
the
got
lemon
here.
lime. Both great.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've both said our favorite is lemon lime, but
Yes.
orange mango, definitely not a bad
Yeah.
choice either.
Just as good. Put it over some ice. It's a very refreshing drink.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
toss it in the cooler when you're going to watch your go to a intramural softball game or something like that.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
choice. All right, the draft of color combinations.
All right. Who went first last time? You. I think 'cause you got the Masters with the first pick.
Yeah. All right, so you go first.
All right. With my first pick, give me blue and white.
I didn't think you were gonna take that.
Classic. You got the Cowboys. You got the Yankees. Just like a staple color combination for all the top teams.
I'll go red and black.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Chicago Bulls, and I'll go with red and blue. That gives you the Phillies,
Mm-hmm. Sixers.
Sixers. You get some
Patriots.
Patriots. You get the Wizards. Not the greatest add on there, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of the cleanest ones.
All right. So I have 2 picks now. Give me yellow and purple. I got the Vikings, the Lakers, just classic jerseys. And let's go green and white. You got the old school Kelly Green jerseys. You got, I'm trying to think of classic Green Bay is green and yellow more than green and white, but just all green. It's Milwaukee you'd get to, right? Bucks. I'm trying to think green and white,
Oh,
famous green
yeah.
and white teams. Mostly took it for the Eagles, but there's definitely some solid. Oakland A's, I think, got some green and whites. Yeah, I said yellow and purple and green and white.
So this color I'm gonna pick for my last pick. We're doing
Yes.
3.
Yeah.
This actually it's between 2. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one. It's not one that I can really think of a team having, but I think there's some college teams that have and stuff like that, but I can't really think of a pro team that has it. But I think it looks really clean, blue and gray. I think like you
The
get like
Cowboys got some blue and grays.
yeah, but I think like a matte gray looks pretty solid with like any kind of blue.
Okay. Yeah, I could see it. I can see it. We'll find some jerseys to put up for the graphic.
Yeah, I just did a search. It's kind of create your own, so it didn't really help.
I was gonna say when I looked up jerseys too, it was like try like pink and a bright orange, and I'm like, I'm not trying to build like a dodgeball team.
Yeah.
Like,
So I almost picked orange and black, or like an orange and white.
I have orange
you
and black
you
on
have
here.
The Flyers, the Bengals.
yeah, orange and black was a good one. I also have pink
Orioles.
and blue.
I do kind of like those together, but at the same time, that's a little like it's a decent alternate, but when it's there all the time, it's kind of annoying.
Yes, I would agree with that. Like the Heat having it was really sick.
Yeah, the Miami Knights. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Do I have any a black and gold with the
yeah.
Saints? I think is a great one too. So wait, what did I end up? So recapping our color schemes for jerseys draft. The first pick I took blue and white. You got some classic teams with that, Cowboys, Yankees, and such. I have the green and white, Kelly Green and white jerseys. I'm trying to think what other. I'd have some other ones, but and then yellow and purple. We got the Lakers. You got the Vikings.
And I got red and black. You got the classic Chicago Bulls. red and blue, Phillies, Sixers, Wizards, those kind. And then my last pick, blue and gray. Can't really think of a team that has it right now, especially. Well, you got the Cowboys a little bit with it. Actually, yeah, the Cowboys definitely. Yeah, they have a blue and gray jersey. But I think
Lions.
Yeah, the Lions. Yeah, some of them just look really clean. So vote. Who do you think picked the best color combinations, and let us know what ones we missed.
Well, that probably wraps up this episode too, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow all the platforms. We're posting on every platform you can think of, except for Threads. We haven't made the Threads yet.
No, I'm not doing the Threads.
No, it's too much. No one uses it really. The only time I use it is if I'm on Instagram and I happen to see something, I'm like, I'll take a look at this, but then I go right back off.
Well, I click on it not realizing it's Threads, and then you're like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, that's true. It is annoying, like having to go to another app from it.
He said, I know one person that uses Threads. I'm not going to expose that person or why they use it, but it's not for what we need.
Okay, very very good, very good content. All right,
I'm not going to expose the person.
All right, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.